Hey, everybody. Thanks for stopping by JFree906. We had a great time with Carl, Cookson, and Hamilton White from Lost Relics of the Knights Templar. The video we did is on our YouTube channel. It's about 2 hours long, but I decided to take a few highlights out of it. And this one is some of the funnier parts. Riding on the back of a Harley Davidson around Old Jerusalem and a Ferrari? Not liking to ride in a Ferrari? You guys got to check this out. Enjoy.
But that also went a slightly different route as well. You were both pilgrims, even though you're there filming and researching, but you're both pilgrims. And Carl, you have a certificate, don't you? A certificate from your pilgrimage trail?
Yeah, that's it. It's the
Oh, wow.
Thank you. Thank you so much
that's
for
awesome.
sharing that with us.
And
that's the Jerusalem cross, and then it happened in Jerusalem, in the oldest tattoo parlor in the world. I think the family, the first generation founded it in the 13th century, and the guy we met who runs it today, a guy named Wazim Razzouk, their family are Coptic, Orthodox Egyptians, Christians. And they've been there, they've tattooed Haile Selassie, they've tattooed pilgrims in the 13th century, they've probably tattooed crusaders. And that alone was, a fantastic thing. But even the block where they transferred the pattern on is olive wood, and the block was about 400 years old, carved by one of his great-great-grandfathers. Wow. And they ink the block up, and then they roll the block on your arm. And then he obviously used a modern tattoo machine now. In them days, they had a tapping one where they charged it with ink. I had no intention of getting a tattoo when I was there. I thought, well, we'll do the inking up, because that's fine. But I've got this far without a tattoo. But I felt a bit guilty because my dad had tattoos. He was a merchant seaman, and he had
there you go. I'm a sailor. Yeah, I'm a former Navy man, and so that's usually something you do when you're drunk and you're in a port city someplace.
Well, he's got an eagle on one side and a black panther scratch in his arms, and on his two wrists there, he's got two beautiful Chinese ladies or Singapore ladies.
Yeah,
they're not done very well, I have to say. And it's just, I don't think my mum was happy when she found out. So it was always drummed into us, you're not getting a tattoo, And I got there and I just thought, you know what? I'm here. I'm in the holiest city on the planet. I'm in the oldest tattoo shop in the world. I'm actually in front of the family, the 27th generational member. And my dad had a tattoo, so I'm getting one. And that's,
there you go.
When I done it, I was sort of having a good chat with him. I said, it's funny, isn't it? You get people come to Jerusalem and they go to Holy Sepulchre and they have to come to you for a tattoo. He said, oh yeah. He said, you'll find thousands of them all over the world. I said, so it's kind of like a certificate of pilgrimage. Mm-hmm. Said, you know what? I like that. I'm going to use that now. So even Wazim calls it a certificate of pilgrimage, but it is in a way. It's just a nice mark. I'm still waiting to bump into one of his old clients, to see if I can do the snap thing, And
maybe someone will write in on the fan page with their own photograph.
Nice,
that would be something. That would be terrific.
I go over there, I'm going to get one. If I get there, I don't know what it cost you, but if
it didn't cost us anything. You wouldn't take any money.
Wow. Hamilton, did you get one?
And he was a biker. You had to go on his Harley Davidson around Jerusalem as well.
There you go.
That was cool. Yeah. I mean, the plan was when we got there, they were going to bring. He's actually part of a bike chapter called the Holy Bikers of Jerusalem. So when we got there, I expected to get a Harley for me to ride, or a bike, because I'm a biker. And unfortunately, couldn't get a spare bike, so I had to sit on the back of his bike, which was quite pleasant. I got a blast around old Jerusalem on a Harley Davidson. I thought that was pretty cool. You know, doesn't get much
What kind of
better.
yeah, what kind of story
Just
is
one.
that? Oh my gosh.
I mean, Jerusalem is a fabulous place. I mean, you don't have to be religious to enjoy Jerusalem. Just the whole historic aspect of it, of thousands of years, all layer upon layer. And you know, because it's different layers, you're walking somewhere that's Roman, then you suddenly pop down a hill and you're into the old city of David, which is 2,000 years older. Then you're up in the Crusader layer, and it's all within a few hundred yards of each other walking around. It's just fantastic. It really is. Loved it.
I read the other day an amazing little story. There's a guy there. He's a Muslim guy, and it's another one of these people that's in a family generational business. And they've got they had a tiny cafe in the middle of Jerusalem, and he decided to do a bit of digging around, and he's got seven vaulted crypts now, tunnels. So he's managed in part to expand his restaurant in part of them, and some of them he hasn't been able to use now because the authorities want to buy his shop off him for a premium.
Wow.
Obviously, because they think that one of the tunnels goes all the way from his cafe to the Alaskan Mosque.
Oh,
Okay.
Which is, I mean, that is, you can see the power in that, and what you know, the possibilities of what could be seen there. So you know, it's a place exploding with history. It's split into four quarters. You've got the Jewish quarter, the Christian Vatican quarter. You've got the Armenian quarter and the Islamic quarter. You know, so. And they all manage to coexist with no problems, generally.
Generally, yeah. Wow.
But I mean, it sounds like, oh, there's four quarters. It sounds like nothing, but when you actually walk around the old town, you step over the demarcation line of, right, you're leaving the Armenian and going into the Arabic quarter, and it's absolutely 100% different, wasn't it? You take 2 or 3 steps and you could be in another country. It's very odd.
Wow.
I'll tell you what I did like when we was there. We was walking. It was really hot, and we was walking through these tiny little streets, and you got these little stalls, and they press fresh pomegranate juice. It was amazing. It was just great little things like that there. The place where we stopped for lunch, just brilliant, you know. And you're sitting in the same place that people would have sat 1,500 years ago.
Yes, I know. That's the thing. Yep.
Carl, would you ever let Hamilton drive one of your cars?
Well, I think he could answer that because he doesn't like driving. He'd rather be He'd rather chauffeur me off. He loves me driving.
I'm the perfect passenger because I can sit in my own little world and look at what's going on around me. I don't drive any of my own cars, let alone needing to borrow anybody else's. I would much prefer, Carl, to get rid of those stupid Ferraris, which are uncomfortable, and go and buy a nice new Rolls or a limo or something where I can just sit in the back with a load of leg room.
Yeah.
That's an idea then. How about you?
Ferrari?
How about you buy a Rolls Royce and I'll drive it?
Yeah, right. Okay, I'll be up for that. But I mean, the Ferrari was fantastic. But I mean, on a couple of times when we were in Spain and France, we had like 6, 7, 8 hour driving days. And I mean, 7 hours in a Ferrari. Oh dear, never again. I mean, you try and get out of the car and you're folded into the shape of the seat, even when you get out of the car.
You couldn't make it up, could you? He's whinging because
I know.
Oh, what a shame he had to spend 7 hours in a Ferrari.
Horrible.
Oh, I know.
Sorry for you, mate.
Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
I know there was one. Go ahead. Sorry.
We need a nice big limousine.
Oh, there you go.
With plenty of leg room in the back where you can stretch out. Mm-hmm. And certainly me, if not both of us, can be driven around and we can just sit in comfort with a cocktail in the back and some crisps and just be wafted silently to wherever we need to go. That's what we need.
Yeah, there you go. Now, I was going to say, I seen one scene where you were actually driving the Ferrari. It was on a dirt road and a gravel road or whatever. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness. And you're cruising right along. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness.
Well,
I was wondering about that.
I actually use the cars, in real life.
Might as well.
I'm a biker and I love cars, and they're there to be used. And you shouldn't just. Yeah, it's nice to have them shiny and cruise around Monaco and stuff like that. But I want to be the one that puts the mileage on them in the places where I want to go. Mm-hmm. So when we done, I think that road we was going up to.
It was in Spain.
Montjardin, wasn't it?
That's right. Yeah, that was a proper off-roading experience. That was.
Yeah, in fact, the camera crew were a bit worried. They wanted me to stop halfway up the mountain. And I said, no, we'll keep going. We did it. We got to the top, right up to the castle in a Ferrari. It was brilliant. And then we got out and had to look around the castle. It was fantastic.
Yeah, that was a good spot.
Good way to see castles.